Welcome to Takedown DFS. I'm going to be a daily fantasy sports content provider for all the major sports. My favorite sport, though, is NFL, and sadly, it's not going on right now. So I'm doing MLB. I'm going to be doing NBA when it comes down to the playoffs, and I'm doing UFC because that's one of my favorite sports going on right now. So, but now the craze is the mock draft. So everyone's obsessed with it. I'm obsessed with it. I'm a Giants fan. I'm going to try not to be biased, but you're going to get some biased takes in here. But the mock draft is the thing going right now. The first couple, some of these picks should be pretty easy. I think most people are dead set on one thing where it could be a crazy draft day. Everyone, who knows? But let's get right into the picks, and let's probably gonna go right through pick number one. So here we go. I'm using a site called the Draft Network. They do a mock draft. They have a mock draft machine that shows their team needs, players available, all that stuff, and yeah, so it's pretty easy to use. I have my research, but everything all in one place, you can't beat it. So let's get to the picks here. The number one overall pick, we've known it for a while. He's been the best QB in college football for quite some time now. There's a debate among the QBs. There's been a top two in Trevor Lawrence and Justin Fields, but that's changed over the past couple of months, and there's a couple of QBs that have passed over Justin Fields that I think will pass over him in this draft, but that's to come. But right now, let's just lock in Trevor Lawrence in this pick here. I don't think Gardner Minshew is their man, and I think they know that. So let's see what Trevor Lawrence can do with this offense. Let's get into the picks here. I'm going to take a drink. All right, so the second overall pick, there's a debate about who's going to be the second best QB in this draft behind him. But I think the Jets are set on their ways, and they know which guy they want. They've been pretty much locked in. I think the pick is Zach Wilson. I think they go Zach Wilson here, and I think we move on to number three. So, number three overall pick. The 49ers moved up to this pick, and you don't move up this far if you're not picking a quarterback. So, I think that quarterback is the play here, but it depends on which one. I would have said Justin Fields back in the day, but now that everything's changed. I think it's either Mac Jones or Trey Lance. And I think that Kyle Shanahan likes the way Mac Jones can play into his offense, but I think I'm more of a Trey Lance guy, which I'm not really a fan of the North Dakota State QBs because the last one was Carson Wentz. Sorry about the biased take again. But I think that Kyle Shanahan is in love with Mac Jones, and I think he's going to be the pick here at number three. So let's go ahead and give them Mac Jones. Number four overall pick. The Falcons could go any which way here. I think that they were looking for a weapon to pair with anything, and now Julio Jones might be leaving the building with all these trade rumors that I don't know what they're going to get for him, so I'm not going to make that trade here in this mock draft, but I don't know if it's going to be on draft day or later down the road, but I think that now their pick has changed, and they know Matt Ryan's time is coming to an end. He only has about 2 years left, I think. And I think that they're going to go for a quarterback here. And they were talking about way back in the day, them liking Justin Fields. But I think now the tide has changed, and Justin Fields is going to drop. And you're going to see that in the coming minutes. But I think that the Falcons go with Trey Lance here. On to number five. I think everyone was trying to pair Jamar Chase and Burrow back together again, saying that they mesh well. That's where the pick's going to go. And I think he's a great offensive weapon. I think he's the best wide receiver in this draft, personally. And I think a lot of teams think that as well. So that's the pick that everyone's thinking, but I think we are in for a curveball. I think that the most dynamic offensive weapon in this draft is actually Kyle Pitts, the Florida tight end. And I think that the Bengals go in his direction. And pairing Joe Burrow with Kyle Pitts is going to make for a lot of fantasy goodness, and I think people are going to need to start drafting him, and I'm already excited for that. But I think Kyle Pitts is going to be the pick here at number 5 to the Bengals, which makes Jamar Chase drop down to the Miami Dolphins, in which they're looking for offensive weapons to pair with their young QB, Tua Tagovailoa. And to see what they have in him, I think they need to go in that direction. So I think Jamar Chase drops this far. He's not going any farther. Okay, so now we're down to the first 6 picks. And now we go on to the Detroit Lions. let's look at the Detroit Lions here. They have a lot of needs. I think one is clearly wide receiver because the best wide receiver went to us. But I think that now they have to decide which guy they want to go after. And I know Devonta Smith won the Heisman. I know that would be a nice pick. I know they could go Penei Sewell. But I think that the pick here is actually Jalen Waddle. I think as long as everything's good with his injury front, I think that they like what happened there, and I think they go Jalen Waddle and end up taking him. Now on to the Carolina Panthers. We just traded for Sam Darnold. I would think that they would be in for Justin Fields here after him dropping this far, but I think that they like Sam Darnold. They want to put a lot of weapons around him and give him what he needs to succeed. So first thing you need for a QB to succeed is an offensive line. So I think Penei Sewell does not drop any farther than here, and Penei Sewell is the pick. On to number 9. We're going out west to the Denver Broncos. I think that this could go a lot of ways. I think that Justin Fields could be the pick here. He could be. Or it could be anyone. I think it could be either one of these cornerbacks. It's a tough call. It's a tough call, but I think they like what they have in Drew Lock. But they're going Justin Fields. They are not going to pass on Justin Fields. They have been talking about the quarterback. They're not sold on him. So I think they pair the two together and see what they got in the QB competition. But, yeah, I'm going to say Justin Fields, Broncos pick, number 9. Now on to pick number 10, this team from Dallas. Wow. All right, I'm a little biased, but I think that they see what's happening in the division. The Washington football team. They went out and got a wide receiver in Corey Davis. The Giants went out and got a receiver in Kenny Galladay. Their secondary has been pretty bad, so I think they are certain on a certain pick. Patrick Surtain, the second out of Alabama. I think that they're going to go them. Here comes to the New York Giants. I think if this falls this far, they have a bunch of picks that they like. I'm seeing right there in the top 4, or the top 4 picks that I've been seeing the Giants linked to. Rashawn Slater, J.C. Horn, Micah Parsons, and Devonta Smith. They have a variety of ways they can go. They could pair another wide receiver to go with the addition to Kenny Galladay. They can get a linebacker to put next to Blake Martinez that I have on right now. They can go J.C. Horn to get that third corner, or they go with Rashawn Slater. I think they know what they've done. They're getting Saquon Barkley back with an offensive line that's pretty much how they left it. So I think that the pick is going to be Rashawn Slater out of Northwestern. I hope he's good for my team's sake and everything like that, but he looks pretty good. He's a hog molly, but as they say, and I think he's going to be the pick here at number 11 to the New York Giants. And just like I said with the New York Giants, the Dallas team, the Cowboys, they saw what happened in the division with Corey Davis coming and also Kenny Galladay. So they went and got a corner. I think that the Eagles would love to give Devonta Smith to Jalen Hurts. But I don't think they're going to do that. I don't think they can right now. I think they need to address that defense because that defense is the secondary is pretty bad. So I think that they go corner and they take J.C. Horn. Okay, on to the L.A. Chargers. I think that they've been linked to some guy that they've liked for a while, and since we took Rashawn Slater, I think it's pretty simple here. They go on with Christian Darrisaw. Everyone's trying to pair the two together, and I think that that's a nice fit. On to the Minnesota Vikings. They've been looking for stuff for defense. I think that they could be one of the first teams to go edge here. The Micah Parsons could fit well with this team, but I think that edge is the play here. So I'm going to skip over Jalen Phillips because I don't think he's going to be the first one to come off the board. I think it's going to be Kwity Paye. Teams like Kwity, and great guy. I think it's going to work out. Now on to the New England Patriots. We got Bill Belichick. He always has something up his sleeve. So let's see what he has to do here. But I think that is almost too fitting. Heisman winner to Bill Belichick and that offense. I think that Bill gets his guy, the Heisman winner, Devonta Smith. Let's see what he could do on the Patriots. Hopefully better than N'Keal Harry, but there we go. Number 16, we got the Arizona Cardinals, who have DeAndre Hopkins. They have Kyler Murray. They're a very well-rounded offense. I think they're going to look to go defense here, and I think corner is the play here. So I think that they're going to want to get a cornerback. So I think Caleb Farley would fit pretty well here, and I think it's between Caleb Farley and Micah Parsons in the draft that I'm going right now. But I think that Caleb Farley is the pick. Moving on to the Las Vegas Raiders. Las Vegas, I got to get used to saying that. The Las Vegas Raiders. Let's see what they got here. I think Micah Parsons has fallen far enough, and they've been looking at linebacker. They've been talking about Zaven Collins, and even, who's the guy that I had written down? Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. He could be in play here. The guy at Notre Dame that hits very, very hard. But I think that their pick here, they go with Micah Parsons. They take him because he fell too far. They didn't think they were going to get him, and they jump on the pick. Now we've got the Miami Dolphins, who I just had them have Jamar Chase. So I think that their plan is to get someone on the defensive end now that they've got their wide receiver. So I think that they could go Jalen Phillips out of Miami, but I don't think that he's as good as teams are making him out to be with these mock drafts and rating him so high. I think that teams have him rated a little lower, and I think they actually go Azeez Ojulari out of Georgia. I think he's getting some traction. He's going to be the second edge picked in this draft behind Kwity. On to the Washington football team. It's still hard to remember their name and everything with them having no name. But Washington football team, they're going to want someone on the defensive end, I think, to help on that defense front. So I think that they actually go with the hard hitter out of Notre Dame, which I actually really like, so I don't want to root against them, but it's going to be tough. But I think they go with Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah. I don't know how I'm saying that right, but I think he's the pick to the Washington football team. But now on to the Chicago Bears. Chicago Bears have a variety of ways they can go here. They have a lot of needs, and now they got Mitch Trubisky out of the picture. They're moving on with their team, and they're in a new direction. So I think they're going to go for someone with some upside, and I think Jalen Phillips, the reason why he's dropping so much is because I don't think they think of him as the guy that's ready to be the top guy now. I think he's a guy that could have some upside, though. So I think the pick here is Jalen Phillips, the edge out of Miami. So they get another edge guy to pair with Khalil Mack, and they're great defense. So let's see what they can do with that. Next is the Indianapolis Colts, new look with their boy Carson Wentz and all that stuff. So let's see what they could do with this. I think the pick here is going to be... who did I have here? Oh, yeah. I think they do like this offensive tackle out of Oklahoma State, Tevin Jenkins. I think he's going to be one of the great offensive tackles taken in this draft. They have a few good guys here, and I think he's going to be the pick to try and protect Carson Wentz and give him some time in the pocket. On to the Tennessee Titans. Tennessee Titans could go either offense or defense. I think that they have a variety of ways to go. They're a pretty good overall around team. And I think that they're I think this is a tough one because they could go for offensive line. But I think that they actually go with the D lineman. I think they go Christian Barmore out of Alabama. I think he's going to be the pick here. And I think that's because they want to they know what they have on their offense. They got A.J. Brown. They've got Derrick Henry, and they got Ryan Tannehill in that offense. I think that the defense is where they're going to go in the first round. They address some of these late wide receivers. So look for them to get one of those wide receivers in the later rounds, like a Terrence Marshall or someone like that at LSU to replace Corey Davis. But I think they go Christian Barmore here. Now on to the New York Jets. They've already selected Zach Wilson. Let's have a drink real quick. Do they help him by pairing someone with him? Or do they go on the defensive front? And I think this guy has fallen far enough. I think they go with Zaven Collins. They get a linebacker because they already have a pretty solid defensive line. So they end up going the linebacker route and take on Zaven Collins as their linebacker of the future. On to the Steelers. I know I've seen people pair them recently, but I don't know why it took till now. But I think that it doesn't matter that they re-signed, what's his name? How am I blanking on the running back? Connor. Yeah, Connor. I don't know how I'm blanking on that name, but they re-signed Connor, but I don't think it matters. I think they go with Najee Harris at Alabama. I think he's going to be the pick here, and he fits very well with that team. They're going to need to run the ball a little bit more with Big Ben deteriorating in age and his arm deteriorating as well. But, I think that Najee Harris is the pick here. And look for him in fantasy as well. On to the Jacksonville Jaguars. They've already got their guy in Trevor Lawrence. So now who do they address here? I think that they go for someone to help out the team, another upside pick when they have their solid guy in Trevor Lawrence. I think the pick here is going to be Elijah Vera Tucker out of USC. I think he fits well with this team, and he's the best player available on the board, and I think they just go best player available once because they know they've got their solid first-round pick in Trevor Lawrence. On to the Browns. The Browns, I think, need a linebacker. But now these linebackers have dropped pretty far. So I don't know where they look for that. But this is where it gets tough because they would have loved Jeremiah Owusu-Koramoah or a Micah Parsons, but they can't do that right now because they are gone. So this is where I think they just try and address wherever they can. Yeah, I don't think they reach for Jamin Davis. I think what they do is they actually go for a wide receiver. And I am not actually seeing him up here, which is pretty crazy. I think they go pretty far down. Let's find it. Boom. Rondale Moore. Rondale Moore to pair with Odell, Jarvis Landry, and I think they give Baker another weapon and see how far this offense can go. So Rondale Moore is the pick. On to the Ravens. They just traded away their best offensive lineman. Let's see what they could do with that. I don't know if that was the best move for them, but now they're about to get another pick out of it. So hopefully they can make the best with that. But I think this is where they go with a safety. I think they go with Trevin Morang out of TCU. The junior over there. I think they go with him. I think they need a safety in this defense, but maybe they'll address the offensive side with the 32nd pick. But Trevin Morang. On to the Saints. Sad about the retiring of Drew Brees. Great player, but this is time to go. But definitely going to be missed and over here. But I think that the Saints have a variety of ways they're going to go. But I think they go on the defensive side. I think they need a corner because Eli Apple, still regret it, bias, is not the man over there. And they know that. And they have a couple of washed-up cornerbacks. So they need a young guy. So Greg Newsome out of Northwestern. I think he's a fast guy. He's going to be able to give them another level of their defense they don't have. So, Greg Newsome. On to 29th pick. If they go quarterback here, I think Aaron Rodgers might just pack his bags and get out and just go on strike. That Jordan Love pick was a little crazy, but I think they need to address the wide receiver position here. And I've seen a lot of things about the Packers taking a look at a certain wide receiver. Very fast guy. And his teammate actually got drafted a little earlier, but Kadarius Toney. Not as influential as the Kyle Pitts pick on Florida, but Kadarius Toney, I think, is the man for the job here. And I think he's the pick. That would make Aaron Rodgers very happy. Also, great job hosting Jeopardy over there for the late Alex Trebek. I'd like to see that. The Buffalo Bills were a great team. I was rooting for them over there. Josh Allen, great QB in this league and for years to come. And let's see what they go with here. I think that they want to go on the defensive side here, or address that defense. And I think that they're going to go actually reach up for Jamin Davis. I think Jamin Davis, the linebacker, I think since the other linebackers are gone, I think they like what they have with him. And I think Jamin Davis is going to be the pick. Linebacker out of Kentucky. And now on to the Ravens pick again was the Chiefs. But Chiefs went and got that offensive lineman, Orlando Brown, which is going to make them very well off. And I think the Ravens address wide receiver need here. And I think that this place has, over there, they have Rashad Bateman as the pick. I don't think Rashad Bateman is going to be the pick. I think they like wide receiver, but it's not going to be Elijah Moore either. I think this is where Terrence Marshall comes into play. And I think Terrence Marshall is the pick for the Ravens here. And now we go on to the Super Bowl champions, Tampa Bay Buccaneers. What a Super Bowl. Gronkowski, Tom Brady, they won it again. What can you say at this point? I think that the champion Buccaneers, they want to go on the offensive line and bring more protection for their old quarterback. That seems to never age. But I think the pick here is going to be Alex Leatherwood out of Alabama. And there we go. That's our pick. Let's run through the picks one more time. Jacksonville Jaguars taking Trevor Lawrence. Jets taking Zach Wilson. 49ers going Mac Jones. Atlanta taking Trey Lance. Cincinnati going with Kyle Pitts, the dynamic tight end you're going to want in fantasy. Miami Dolphins getting Jamar Chase. Another guy you might want in fantasy. I'm not sure about Tua's strengths, but there we go. Jalen Waddle and the Detroit Lions could be the focal point there. It's going to be a nice one. Carolina Panthers getting some protection for their newly traded quarterback. Getting Penny Sewell. Justin Fields dropping to the Broncos in a little QB competition where I don't think Justin Fields sees its field for some time now. Cowboys going with Patrick Surtain. Giants getting Rashawn Slater, the tackle out of Northwestern. Eagles going with J.C. Horn. The Chargers getting Christian Darrisaw, offensive tackle out of Virginia Tech. Vikings getting Kwity Paye. Patriots getting Devonta Smith. Cardinals going with Caleb Farley to show that defense, to go with that nice offense. Micah Parsons dropping to the Vegas Raiders. The Dolphins getting their edge rusher in Azeez Ojulari. Nice draft for them with Jamar Chase and Azeez. Jeremy Owusu-Koramoah, Washington, as they have it here, Washington football team, getting a nice linebacker that I'm going to hate to go against. Chicago Bears getting Jalen Phillips, the edge out of Miami. Colts getting Tevin Jenkins, and I got to shore up that O-line for Carson Wentz. Titans going with Christian Barmore, defensive lineman out of Alabama. Jets getting Zaven Collins to pair with Zach Wilson. Another nice pairing. Pittsburgh Steelers getting Najee Harris. Make sure to draft him. Jacksonville Jaguars, Elijah Vera Tucker. Cleveland Browns, Rondell Moore, wide receiver out of Purdue. Baltimore Ravens getting their safety in Trevin Moehring. Saints getting Greg Newsome II, the cornerback out of Northwestern, so they can stop getting Giants washed-up quarterbacks. Green Bay finally giving Aaron Rodgers a weapon in Kadarius Toney. Buffalo Bills getting a linebacker in Jamin Davis. Ravens getting Terrence Marshall Jr. to pair with Lamar Jackson. And Tampa Bay Buccaneers shoring up their offensive line with tackle Alex Leatherwood. That's going to be my mock draft. Thank you guys for watching. Please leave a like and subscribe and comment what you think is different and what you guys think the picks are going to be. If you liked some of the picks, want to talk to me about some, I'll be here. But yeah, make sure to subscribe to the channel, especially if you play daily fantasy sports or fantasy sports like that. I'll be doing some fantasy drafts for football as well. But if you're into daily fantasy sports or just sports in general and want to join the community over here, feel free to like and subscribe. Thank you guys for joining, and I appreciate it. Let's take down.